guys, and welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse on Brother Farm Quad. I am J-Man. On this edition of Pulse, we give you guys our WWE Fastlane 2015 preview. Probably shouldn't say 2015 because it'll probably be the one and only Fastlane ever. Going to the cemetery of shitty-ass fucking WWE pay-per-view names with Fatal 4-Way and Capital Punishment and... I don't really know. I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head right now. Yeah. But the first WWE pay-per-view, February 1, before WrestleMania, to not include an Elimination Chamber match since 2007 going into WrestleMania. So that'll be really intriguing. Obviously,
Over the Limit.
Over the Limit, that was pretty bad. That sounded like just a shitty old school type name. Yep.
I can't think of any more. That one
for sure.
Forever.
Indeed. So yeah, this is definitely this is the last pay-per-view going into WrestleMania 31. So obviously the shifting and shaking of going into the biggest show of the year is definitely going to be going down here. A lot of interesting stuff going on for sure to see what kind of the puzzle pieces will come together here. But I think there's going to be a lot more of the puzzle to be solved after this show too. On paper, card looks interesting. For sure.
Yeah, you're really...
interesting could be taken in many different ways. That doesn't mean great, for sure. It means interesting. There are some things that could be pretty quality on here.
You're missing one thing on there that I'm more intrigued about than anything.
What would that be, quality?
Sting and Triple H.
We did forget to put that on there. We will add that in here and talk about it right here. Thank you, Quaddy. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to be going down here. A lot of interesting things. We, like you just talked about the segment with Triple Sting also, which we'll get to talking about. Thankfully, he reminded me. And a lot of intriguing things. You have John Cena in his first United States Championship match in over 10 years. You don't have the title on the line. You have yet another circumstance where they went with the wrong guy at at Royal Rumble in our eyes, and should be in their eyes too. And now having a matchup at Fastlane here to see who goes on to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, a la what they did No Way Out 2006 with Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio, which is very funny because that match ended up being a triple threat going into WrestleMania 22 with Angle, Mysterio, and Randy. And then Mysterio ended up, which was a really great matchup actually, which I saw live in Chicago. Speaking of Chicago, lovely transition that I just made there. Me and my fiance just got back from our trip to Chicago, went up there Monday and came back on Wednesday. The sole premise of it, which was her Christmas gift to me, which was tickets to see Stick to Your Guns at the Bottom Lounge in Chicago. The show was out of this world amazing. I was talking to Quaddy, because I loved going to different shows and stuff like that. Shit's all over my fucking body. So finally getting to see these guys live and getting to meet them. She did a meet and greet package, which is fucking awesome. We just had fucking an amazing time and just tons and tons of fun. But it was like, I was talking to Quaddy, it was almost like the feel that me and Robert had at...
You do?
Roberto, truth?
That's the truth.
Been checking out those NASCAR previews? Solid stuff there. Solid stuff. That me and Truthy had going to WrestleMania 25 and witnessing...
How do you know Truth?
What?
Yeah.
He's on our show. And going to WrestleMania 25 and witnessing Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. It was literally like that out-of-body fucking experience. He's going to fuck this up for me. But it's like what it felt like. It was a fucking amazing show. It was all great to see. Got to meet them. All really cool guys. Really chill, down to earth. So awesome. And Quaddy's already on board for the next time that they come. Wherever they come, he's on board to see it. And he should be.
While he was doing that, I'm looking at baseball and hockey equipment.
Yeah, he was. He was checking out. But he needs to stop looking at that shit and start looking at more hockey equipment so we can get onto that.
Yeah.
So as I said in, I don't know, one of the topics show, go pick up their new album, and all of their albums for that matter, because they're all fucking amazing. And
get Krispy Kreme's album too.
Krispy Kreme. And yeah, all the rest we fucking ate ridiculously horrible, but it was all amazing shit. I don't know if anybody around Chicago or been to Chicago. Obviously, call 99655. Giordano's and Gino's East, which is two of the biggest pizza places in the entire fucking country. which was amazing. So we had a great time, had a blast. It was fucking freezing beyond belief. It was like a 13-degree wind chill.
Okay,
but
it's not much better here, guy.
It's true. It's pretty fucking cold here too. But had a great time, had a blast, and cannot thank my fiance enough. She's the best.
This morning I woke up and my testicles were in my throat because it's so cold out.
It was pretty fucking cold.
It was like cold. Our temperature thing out by like my house was like
said flash. It just said witch's titty.
No, it like flashed like it was like blurry numbers. You couldn't even tell what it was. And like I walked outside and saw that. I was like, yeah.
Wow. And what's funny is it was colder here last winter than it was this winter by far.
Yeah.
It was fucking ridiculous last winter.
But let's just
getting sidetracked here. Anyway,
what do we do?
I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking about. But yeah, so we're gonna run down this card for you.
If you're still watching.
If you're still watching. First matchup, we have the brothers Gold and Stardust going up against each other. As we talked about on the Topic Show, which you guys need to go check out, our last video, which is a giant WWE WrestleMania preview, pretty much type discussion. We made mention that I thought of an idea that would have been great for both of the Rhodes brothers to kind of engage in and kind of get their teeth sunk into, which was stripping the characters clean, starting fresh, having a fresh slate, and no more Stardust, no more Goldust. It's just Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes, and it's a very raw, a very natural feeling feud, a brotherly feud where they have at it. They bring all of the tension of the entire family that has been building up for years and years and years. You can add in a Dusty Rhodes as maybe a special type ref and have just like a fucking a street fight or a Texas bull rope match or a chain match or a fucking strap match, something very gritty, very raw, and very feeling of this type feud that I have in my mind that could really be pulled off well to elevate Cody back up to where he was a couple years ago and have a nice send off to a possible retirement for Dustin Rhodes. And I just think that would be a flawless way to execute this feud, and it's something that could be really remembered as an undercard, mid-card type thing at WrestleMania. That's what I feel like they should be doing here. Who knows if that ends up going down. But we get Stardust and Goldust in their matchup here with the tensions that would have been caused here, bringing in Dusty to kind of talk to him and shit. Really didn't use him as much as I thought they were going to use him. They just had like a backstage interview with him. It was really nothing big. So
they had him on there twice, I believe.
Oh, did they have him again?
Because they interviewed him with Goldust Stardust.
I saw that.
And then after that, he talked to Stardust.
It was still backstage, though, right?
Yeah, it was all backstage.
Yeah.
Still talked to Stardust, and he called him Cody, and he said, Cody's dead.
Yeah.
Just like my father.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
And then he said something about polka dots, and I just started laughing.
So this obviously could be a thing that continue here, as would be the trend for a lot of things on this card. For me, if there is a winner going, or out of this, I would say maybe if Stardust gets a win here, just to continue it if it does go on, because I hope it continues to where it again cleans the slate of these characters, gets rid of this cartoonish shit, and gets down to the raw, gritty nature of it, and get back a Cody Rhodes and have a nice send off for Dustin Rhodes. I think that's a great way to pull it off, but I just think it's going to be a lot of shenanigans type BS type shit in this matchup probably going down, and it's not going to be what we want out of it. So hopefully we get something in the future, but I guess I'll go with Stardust.
They have Mania and Extreme Rules, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I see them taking this all the way to the Extreme Rules, to be honest with you.
I can see that.
Having a street fight there or doing something there to just end it all. I wish it would just end at Mania, but to get the whole, like J-Man said, get the whole everything out there, nothing held back anymore. You really have to go down to the Extreme Rules and just have like a street fight there. Like J-Man said, anything with like nitty gritty stuff or
very raw.
Like I can see how Hell in a Cell.
Steel cage,
something like that. Just get something where these two can go at it full blown, not have to worry about DQ. I see this ending in a bunch of horse shit. Maybe Dusty getting involved. I see Stardust winning also. It only makes sense. But who knows with WWE, they could just be like, give it to Goldust and have Stardust win at Mania. But
true. Next up, we have the Divas title line when champion Nikki Bella goes up against Paige. Actually, I felt like there's been some quality effort into focusing on this Divas feud. I've actually felt like it hasn't been terrible, a built-up. With Paige, I think it's a smart move turning her face. I think she's a lot more relatable. I just don't know what the fuck they were trying to do with it. It came off, and she still keeps the sexual type tension, the weird, awkward lesbo type shit that she ends up when doing in a lot of her matches. Whatever. That's fine if you want to do that. But Nikki playing a good heel as far as kind of taking the role of what Trish was when she was not wrestling quality wise by any means, but as far as the heel that Trish Stratus played later in her career, very reminiscent of what Nikki is doing currently. And with a Brie, I think the clash of characters and the clash of personalities and just people, as far as Nikki Bella and Paige goes, it's a total difference in people and characters and everything like that. And you have Nikki and Brie trying to defend themselves with Paige saying how she's the different one and that she's not all these Barbie dolls and shit. And Nikki, every time Nikki and Brie keep coming out and they're like, but we're the different ones because they're the ones that still wear makeup and, you know, we're out here being our own and everyone else copies us. And I'm like, no, that's not it at all, you stupid bitch. That's not, no. Go back to John and just shut the fuck up. Try to help his eye because he needs help with his eye. It's looking nasty. Winner here, I really don't know. I hope this could be some quality stuff. Again, nobody's going to give a shit unless you're in Full Sail Arena in NXT and it's a women's match. That's when you're going to give a shit. But it's unfortunate that feel to their matches can't be there because I feel like it's an okay built-up feud in the Divas division. It's nothing great. It's nothing good by any means, but it's all right with me. It's a lot better than what we've seen in the Divas where it's just kind of like, oh, we have a random match with nothing been built up. They're actually building something with this, so I at least will give them credit for that. Winner, hope it's Paige. Overall winner, I really don't know, but I hope Paige does kind of come out of here on top and maybe see a Charlotte, maybe build herself up. And what we could hope for, again, what we talked about in the Topics video, maybe a showdown with Paige and Charlotte at a WrestleMania, finally have a quality women's wrestling matchup at WrestleMania.
Can you imagine Charlotte walking out with like a robe?
Oh, God, just like Rick. She woos. She already got the woo. She already got the song. She got it all.
Like Jimmy said, they've actually put effort into this. I think this Divas division took a major step back when AJ left. Like, ungodly. Like, huge step back because they really had nobody else except Paige and the Bellas that they have faith in, because Natalia's a great wrestler, they just don't have faith in her. And then Emma steals stuff. Alicia Fox is just there.
I don't think there's anyone else.
Tamina's
Naomi, she's with the Usos.
Yeah, and Tamina Snuka, Jimmy Snuka's daughter.
I think she finally turned into a man.
She like tore her ACL or something?
I don't know.
So her vagina wall or her penis finally came out.
She tore her vagina wall with her penis?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I really don't know.
Visuals.
I'm thinking if I'm here, it's probably where I get food or I'm pissing.
Pissing time.
Pissing spoon.
Winner? I guess I didn't really pick a winner either.
Real Page.
Good call. Good call.
Good call. Good call. Good call.
God damn it. Next up, we have the IC title line. Win champion Bad News Barrett goes up against Dean Ambrose. Again, just the clash of kind of characters and really performers that have kind of fallen off the map. Really haven't been focused on. Bad News Barrett came in right after his injury, defeated Dolph Ziggler, like his second fucking match. He took the IC title away from Ziggler and has done nothing with it. I don't think we've seen the IC title defended like fucking rarely since then, maybe once.
I don't think he's really 100% yet.
It could be. That could be. But then again, why fucking put the title on him? Like, it's just like his character was, and his gimmick was really hot before he got injured. And then it falls off the face of the earth. It's just kind of what happens when you have kind of mediocre, built up guys that are getting over, and then you take them away. Well, not take away. Obviously, he got injured and having to be taken away. It's not really remembered as being as big as it was. It's kind of just like, oh, he's doing that again type thing. So I've never been a big fan of Wade Barrett by any means. I think he's an okay worker.
You know when he was in the core?
Not in the core. In the Nexus, yes. I was a fan because I was a fan of the Nexus.
What about the core?
The core, no. The only thing in the core I just remember was Santino's promo talking about Apple. It's like fucking something performers of, I don't even remember what the fuck it was. Somebody else out there.
Jackson.
Somebody will wiki it. I think, I don't know. I can't remember who was in Santino. I think Dana Bryan was in Santino's, so that's automatically a better faction.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose, another guy that we just want to see the realness come out of. Another thing which you guys need to check out the Topics video. We talked about Dean Ambrose extensively. We saw it even this past week coming in and doing the rip-off, the TMZ thing that Wade Barrett is doing, wearing the oversized jacket and doing the stupid fucking little news reporter thing. It's just so cheesy, and I don't want to see Dean Ambrose cheesy. I want to see him very raw and gritty. And as we talked about extensively in the Topics video, so go check that out. Just a lot more raw, in the cartoonish nature of his character, because it's just, again, it just comes off cartoonish, and it's a disrespect to what a Dean Ambrose can provide in the world of professional wrestling. It's a hell of a lot more than what he's doing right now. Winner, I'll go with Barrett retaining. Probably a cheap roll-up bullshit type thing. Maybe continue it on to a WrestleMania where you could see an Ambrose winning the title there. But would love to see the progression of Ambrose continue here onto something a little bit better. But an IC title would be, a nice little notch to his credentials and everything that he's got going on. U.S. champion for one of the longest reigns in the last 5 to 10 years. So seeing him maybe at the IC title in the future could be some good stuff. And hopefully that is what we get either Sunday or at WrestleMania.
Barrett come back into staying off Ziggler was kind of a weird way of them not having faith in Ziggler, and then all that shit happened with Ziggler getting fired and shit. But
speaking of Dolph Ziggler, not even on this card.
Either Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah, fucking. Well, he might have bigger fish to fry coming up.
We hope so.
Yeah.
But I see Barrett winning this either some cheap way or DQ or something to set up Mania. And maybe at Mania, everybody from the Shield will have a title.
I would love to see that. Well, not everybody, but 2/3 of them.
Oh no, he can win it, and then somebody cash it.
Yeah. At least have a portion of a title for 5 minutes, and then not have it any longer. Yeah, hoping for that. Next matchup, we the WWE Tag Titles on the line, win champions. The Usos going up against the Brass Ring Club. I think they're calling themselves, which is a cool name. I think they should stick with, which is Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Love this tag team. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd very have an attitude behind them. Very misused, highly misused and underrated talents to the mainstream audience, but two extremely talented workers and great performers. So it's great to see them at least getting their chance here as a tag team unit. I like that name. I think it's cool. They came up with the Brass Ring Club, obviously coming after the podcast with Vince McMahon and Stone Cold, where he said guys need to start reaching for the brass ring, and kind of singled out Cesaro as one of those guys, and Tyson Kidd could really be categorized in that too. So I think they should stick with that, and WWE should go with it. WWE likes it. They're just kind of playing it by ear. I'm like, don't play by ear, just fucking do it. It's a cool name, and I like it. We like it when you have a tag team with a name. They need to get matching gear because their gear's all fucked up. Tyson Kidd's gear's way fucked up. But talented workers, and they're starting to get a little chemistry going here. Have that awkward tension with Natalya and Tyson Kidd. It's just whatever. It seems like they've done that just for 5 years for some reason. It just seems that way. Usos, the constant, the solid tag team performers, tag team champions, obviously taking it away from Miz and Sandow. Thank fucking jeez. But yeah, I look for this to be definitely a possible show stealer. This could be some really good stuff given the time and given the opportunity to perform this. I have circled on here Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. I don't really know if I'm feeling as solid on it as I was when I first circled it. This one's really up in the air to me. They do this sometimes where they just push the shit out of some guys to a title match, and then they just kind of fall off the face of the earth, and sometimes they push the shit out of them and they just kind of randomly win the titles. That's kind of what it feels like to me. I don't know what they're going to really plan on going towards going into WrestleMania, but I think the angle is built around them with doing the stuff with Natalya and this and that. They've done the stuff with Naomi and the Usos and stuff. So I look for this one to be some solid stuff and some really great work going on here. This one, again, toss up. I really can't lean one way or another right now for some reason. This one, I don't know why I circled it so prematurely without really thinking of it. But hoping Cesaro and Tyson Kidd actually get the titles here. Either way, I mean, if you keep with the Usos, quality workers, great tag team, easily WWE's tag team of the last year and a half. Well, if you take out, what the Shield were doing whenever they broke up, definitely the tag team in WWE after those guys broke apart. But either way, you kind of lean here, you can't go wrong. So what I look for out of this is some solid work and hopefully a great tag team matchup here, no matter the outcome.
If given time, this could be the match of the night, hands down. With both these teams and how great they've been working together on the Raws and SmackDowns they wrestled. Like Jamin said, if they actually have faith in Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, give them the titles and just have this back and forth feud, but don't keep bouncing the titles back and forth. If they don't trust them yet, let them have another match at Mania or sometimes down the road where they could actually win the titles and it would make sense. It just seems like they really got pushed really quick, and they can either continue getting pushed to the moon or get pushed to Pluto.
So that's a reference right there.
I'm feeling it could be a slobber knocker, but it's going to be Cesaro and Tyson Kidd to win.
There we go. Next up, we're going to talk about this little face-to-face encounter that they've been building up with Triple H and Sting. Obviously, not a matchup for any of the people out there, including my father, who thought this was a fucking matchup between Triple H and Sting. It is not a match. It is just a face-to-face encounter where Triple H is said to get this shit done with and get Sting out of here, whatever he's got to do, blah, 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 blah. Saying that, I actually am looking forward to this segment with what they... Just to see how they continue presenting Sting, to see if they go the right way with him and they utilize him the correct way. So that's what I hope we get out of this. Obviously, to me, I think either it would be Sunday or the following Monday that it gets announced that it's Triple H's Sting at WrestleMania. Again, we talked about that extensively on the Topic Show, so go check that out. But that's something we could definitely talk about down the road. But looking forward to this segment. I think it could be some interesting stuff here. And I think the quality of performers when you get them out there and the camera's on and they can get over this, I think these two guys, definitely Triple H, can get this over to where you want to see it and you want to see it go down. So I'm intrigued by it, and we'll see what goes on with the face-to-face encounter Triple H and Sting on Sunday.
There's a lot of things that could happen in this. I think we talked about a lot of them on WCW. On the Topic Show. I feel like the real Sting's not going to show. It's going to be another fake one. And Tripp's going to beat the shit out of him and then realize it's not him. And then
I can see they just send out like 5 guys and just like pedigrees them all. Like, God damn it, bring the fucking real one out.
Or like they did with on that Raw where they had him from different areas.
Yeah.
But I could also see him beating up in the Raptors and him not coming down, just a bat drop.
That'd be cool.
And just something in that effect. I don't know. I feel it's going to end up going to Mania, so we'll see what happens. Yeah,
I just hope the production level of Sting continues like what they did, finally started to do with Sting and the production level on that Raw where they had the promo or re-showing the promo of Triple H and changing his face to Sting's face. I thought that was fucking awesome. I thought they did some stellar work with that. WWE's production crew is just bar none the best. Nobody can top that with the things they do with the entrances and the video packages, everything. They're just stellar all the time. Next matchup, we have, in my eyes, one of the most intriguing matchups in a while because of what pieces you have in place and what's on the line and just what is going on in general. We have the U.S. title line with champion Rusev going up against John Cena. As we talked about at the beginning, it's John Cena's first United States Championship match in over 10 years. To my best knowledge, I think it's the first United States Championship matchup for John Cena since, would it be WrestleMania 20? Or a little, I mean, not first U.S. title match, but before WrestleMania 21, which would have been when because he dropped the title, because he had the title going into 2005. They did that weird screwy finish at the Rumble with him and Dave, where they both pretty much ended up winning, and then Dave ended up winning. And then they had him drop the title to like Orlando Jordan or something or some shit. And then remember they dropped it in, they like exploded the fucking spare U.S. title. Yeah. And that was like that's the last time I can remember John Cena ever being involved in the U.S. title, at the beginning of 2005. So we're talking 10 years here. So
that's about right, yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 years since we've seen him around this, and having it end with the build that they've had and him holding up the U.S. title, it just is so fucking weird to see that. Obviously, Rusev, his build as this monster, fucking Russian juggernaut heel, has been quality. They have not faltered from it. He's still undefeated, still has not been pinned, still has not been submitted, and however long he's been here, almost damn near a year. So they've continued it. It's always the trend. You see that guy get built up here and there, get fed everything he needs, and then he gets fed to the fucking wolves and throw him in there with the John Cena, and then it just is done. I hope that's not what we see here, because I'm not a big Rusev fan, but I'm a fan of pushing younger talent. I'm a fan of seeing the future come to fruition, and I'm a fan of not seeing the future get stepped on and cut at the pass and not, see them get their due. As for a finish, I have no goddamn idea how this is going to end. I don't see Rusev beating him clean. There's no way that's going to happen. If Rusev wins this match, it's going to be the most screwy ass shit known to fucking man. And I don't see John Cena just beating Rusev. I think WWE and management creative know what happens in these situations. They say, everybody knows that this is a typical, here you go, John Cena, do whatever the hell you want. But adding in the U.S. title is making this completely different. And they really haven't even focused on the title that much. It's mostly been him against Rusev, and then over this last week, he finally mentioned the U.S. title, where it's like, I'm going to take the U.S. title back away from blah, 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 or whatever the fuck. That's the first kind of talk that we've even heard about the title on the line, with Cena finally mentioning it. But yeah, I don't see one way or another getting clean wins here. I don't see them just feeding Rusev to Cena and there you go, bye-bye Rusev type shit. Because to me, if they would do that, this would be a lot different predicting if it was at a WrestleMania. But doing it here makes it feel like it's going to continue. I'm not calling one way or another. I'm going maybe a DQ or like a screwy type shenanigan type finish. And if it's a screwy shenanigan type finish, it's probably going to be on Rusev's side to where it's a bunch of bullshit. But as for a winner, I don't see one solid one here. I just see a bunch of screwy shenanigan type shit going on. Match quality could be some stiff, some hard-hitting type shit. John Cena, I actually think thrives in these type matches. You look for something almost like what you saw, definitely not to the caliber and not to the level of a John Cena and Umaga at Royal Rumble of 2007, but you look for those stiff type matches that you've seen in John Cena's past, and he can definitely deliver in these. Now this is one where you don't have a guy pulling it out of a John Cena. You don't have a talent that can carry a John Cena, but you have a guy who's a different hybrid type, athlete that's going in there with a John Cena. I think Cena can make something out of this, and that's crazy to say that Cena can make something out of this, because I think this could be some solid stuff if given the time, and it turns into what I feel like it should be, which is a really stiff and hard-hitting type matchup that John Cena, I think, thrives in. So, yeah, going for a DQ, screwy type finish here, but I don't see a guaranteed, full-blown clean winner in this one.
I actually see the complete opposite. I see, like, with John Cena with the whole eye injury, I think it's actually something deeper, like, something physically wrong with him. So it's like, let's just give Rusev a little more push and just have him destroy Cena and have him take him out. I don't know. Something inside me says Cena's actually hurt. The way he's been, like, with the whole eye and he's limping around, you can see he's not all the way 100% yet. I see Rusev just destroying Cena and then just taking him out until he gets back to 100%, so Rusev winning with the smash.
Wow. Yeah, it should be interesting, because, obviously, if you have those two totally different thoughts of what's going on in the match, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the fuck finally goes down in this matchup. Moving on to the main event, we have the number one contenders match for the WWE World Championship title match at WrestleMania 31 against Brock Lesnar. You have Daniel Bryan going up against Roman Reigns here. Roman Reigns, the 2015 Royal Rumble winner. I don't know why I put like 17 quotes in there. It should just be 2015 Royal Rumble winner. If you want to say that, or if you want to say hand-fed baby-style winner of the 2015 Royal Rumble with help from his cousin, which every goddamn Samoan on the history of the fucking universe is probably related to goddamn everybody that's Samoan. Jesus.
Where's Samoa Joe?
Yeah, where the fuck is Samoa? Where's Amazing Red at? That's all I gotta say. Where's Joe? Where's Red? Joe quit TNA. Did you see that? Did you see that shit? God, talk about a pickup there. Get in some better health, Joe. We can see you in NXT. Somebody all right up there?
Did you hear where he may be headed?
You going back to Ring of Honor? Gotta be all over that shit. That'd be.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there. Front row center for that shit. But yeah, like they keep going to, oh, he's related to this and they're related to that. Like, is every Samoan just related to every Samoan? Jesus, fuck. Get it done for. Yeah, this is obviously the most intriguing of what's going to be going on here, because it is the most important thing that should be on your show, which is the fucking World Championship. Not on the show here. We could possibly see the champion here. Who knows? Towards the end of this one. Word going into this a couple weeks ago was that Vince was all for the idea of back into making this a triple threat, adding in Bryan, doing Bryan, Reigns, and Lesnar at WrestleMania, triple threat for the title. To me, I don't see that happening. Again, a thing we talked about extensively in the topic show. I don't see this happening. I don't see Daniel Bryan being added to the championship match. Now, would I be shocked if he is? Absolutely not. For me, I just don't see them doing a duplicate of last year's. I don't see them doing that because for me, I don't see Daniel Bryan even coming out on top in that matchup because, again, I just don't see them wanting to do the exact same thing. And I don't see them wanting to hurt Daniel Bryan by having him be wasted and basically just being said, hey, he was in there to make, to up the match quality. And I think that's bullshit. If you want to up the match quality, another thing we talked about in the topic show and another thing that's been talked about possibly going down, have him be in a mid-card or the fucking opener WrestleMania with Dolph Ziggler and have him go out there and steal a show. If you want match quality, that's match quality to the nth degree. Put him in there where he can be focused on and where he can be remembered on that WrestleMania as a focus point and as something that went out there and stole the fucking show, which is an easily possible thing to happen if you have Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan in the ring together. So that's actually what I want to see. I want to see that matchup happen because I don't want to see a duplicate of last year. I don't see that happening. Do I want to see Roman? Does that mean I want to see Roman Reigns as the fucking champion? Fuck no, it doesn't. That means I want to see Roman Reigns champion for about 2 minutes, and then a new champion comes out when the fucking briefcase and Seth Rollins comes out and cashing that shit in, and Seth Rollins is the new world champion, which is what it fucking should be, because he is bar none the best thing, best commodity that WWE's fucking got by far, in my eyes. But another thing that was talked about was throwing Roman Reigns in here with Daniel Bryan to get him ready for a physical, stiff, and intense type matchup that he's going to see for sure, no doubt about it, against the Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. To me, that's awesome to see because it's a Daniel Bryan, and you're saying you're going to send this guy out who, you stack up a Roman Reigns and a Daniel Bryan next to each other on the street, and you'd be like, oh my god, what the hell is that dude even standing next to the other dude for? Yeah, he goes out there and he would fucking rough Roman Reigns up as far as, wrestling would go because he would get his ass ready for, a Brock Lesnar match. And you think of getting you ready. Again, it's just another force feed the fucking baby that we want to make the number one star, the new number one star in our company. Again, it's just a bunch of fucking horse shit and a bunch of shit that you're not getting past us. And you're not saying, well, this guy isn't, being, shoved down your throats. This is a natural. No, it's not a natural progression. You're shoving him down the throats. We've said it a million times, blah, blah, blah. That's just plain and simple what the fuck it is. You're wanting this guy to be their guy or to be your next guy, and we're not believing it because it's just more shit crammed down our fucking throats that we don't fucking want. But yeah, you look for Bryan to just pull everything that he possibly can out of Roman Reigns to make this worthy of a main event matchup. But winner of this one, I'm going to go with Reigns. I'm keeping with the idea that they're just going to go a singles matchup with Reigns and Lesnar. I think there's opportunities to do different stuff out of that, whether it be turn Lesnar face, which I think a lot of people want to see, and whether it be turn Reigns heel, which would be easier for Roman Reigns to get over. In my eyes, because his push has just fallen off the face of the fucking earth, and his crowd reactions have done that as well, coming back from the injury. There's possibilities of Heyman possibly going with Roman Reigns, because it was set up, again, talked about the topic show, set up in all those promos they did, and that Raw that was snowed out. It was a setup where Heyman was talking a lot of great stuff about Roman Reigns, his family heritage, this and that. So it's a possible setup for something to go down with that too. So I think there's a lot of ways they could go with it, and then not including or definitely including the possibility of a cash-in at the end of WrestleMania, which would be the first cash-in in WrestleMania history, which would be fucking awesome, and that we would all be hoping for. So I'm going to go with Roman Reigns here. Possibly another screwy type finish where you kind of don't see a definite winner. Because to me, I just don't see Roman Reigns just Superman punch, spear, 1, 2, 3. To me, I think a lot of screwy shit could go down. Possibly a Brock Lesnar coming out in this matchup, maybe making it to where it's an obvious setup to a triple threat, maybe where he just takes everybody out, or where he kind of causes one person to win over another person, then they continue shit down the road, or they may end up making it a triple threat. Whatever goes down, it's probably going to be something kind of fishy and screwy towards the end of this. But I'm going to go with Reigns. If you had to pick a winner, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns in this match.
Once again, we're going complete opposite. I see this match being very hard, very stiff.
All because of Daniel Bryan.
All because of Daniel Bryan carrying him, which is fucking impossible. But, I see Daniel Bryan win this. I see Lesnar coming out and having a face-to-face. I see this going to Mania. Straight up singles Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. And then...
What did they do with Reigns?
He's not on the card.
He just leaves.
He just dies.
He won the Royal Rumble and he just leaves.
Yeah.
You suck.
I'm
cool with that.
They realize that best for business is not Roman Reigns. And they can try to push him to the moon and everything. And like Jay Wayne said, maybe turn him heel, blah, blah.
Right.
But having a Daniel Bryan win and then Rollins coming out with the plan B, him cashing on Daniel Bryan, and then just setting that up. And then having Reigns coming out saying, hey, I won the Rumble, blah, blah, and then setting up that triple threat thing for Extreme Rules.
Yeah. So Quaddy's just pipe bombing it. Just drop a pipe bomb. What up? What is it? What did your shirt say again? Represent Quaddy, represent the streets.
Because that's the only thing, if they're going to go with the plan B part, because Roman Reigns is obviously Triple H and all them and like fucking had to manipulate him to fucking put it on the line. And then I don't know. I don't see them having faith in Roman Reigns if there's this many question marks going into the fucking February pay-per-view.
Yeah, I want to see... I mean, to be totally honest, I want to see Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar. I think it would be extremely intriguing to see what happens.
Like, if you think about that, then you could do, like, once again, the Monster versus the GOAT or whatever the fuck they call it.
Yeah, the David versus Goliath type angle that you would be getting.
Yes, versus Brock Lesnar, and just have that, and because if these two actually got in the ring and actually went nose to nose, it would actually be a really good match.
Oh, the dichotomy there would just be fucking brilliant. I mean, it would be
but
crazy.
because they could actually do so much more. But if they have thrown a fucking Roman Reigns in there, that fucking douchebag will fucking just fuck more shit up than he can do to help him.
Yeah, definitely. But it should, again, the last two matches we came up here, should be interesting to see what the hell goes down because we're totally on different paths here. And I wouldn't be shocked either way, with what goes on here. So definitely some intriguing shit to be going on here. You don't have your normal criteria of what you see going into a February pay-per-view with typically Elimination Chamber or even a No Way Out where you have the Elimination Chamber matchups, which I sorely miss now because I hope they find a way to utilize the Elimination Chamber because I think it's a fucking awesome gimmick. It's just like...
Fuck that. Just where's the title?
True. Fuck, maybe they do... Maybe they find 6 people to just shove... Maybe they do fucking just Bryan, Reigns, Lesnar, Rollins, Cena, fucking Randy. Just do Elimination Chamber WrestleMania for the title. Just fucking don't do it in February. We're moving that shit to WrestleMania.
That'd be a lot of shit.
That'd be nuts.
But then that thing would have to sit above. You can't do it.
True.
They're outside.
They did sell outside at WrestleMania 28. That was in Florida. They have that other thing that's like around because in case it rains, it wouldn't rain on the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have that extra thing. I mean, it's pot. They could do it. They could do it. But I don't think it's going to happen by any means.
That's a lot of shit.
It's not anything to happen. I think there's talk of possibly moving it towards the summer months and having it be something towards SummerSlam. King of the Ring, ladies and gentlemen. That's what that was called. Get a tournament to crown the number one contender going to SummerSlam. That was called King of the Ring. Where the fuck is that at?
It's bedtime.
Yeah, so look for a lot of interesting shit to be going down here. A lot of puzzle pieces start to come together, and probably for both of us, the biggest thing we'll be looking forward to is probably the following Monday with an individual named Bray Wyatt, because that's probably what I'm going to be looking forward to the most. If we see a promo,
I'll laugh my ass off if they set it up
at Sunday. I could see it. I mean, but to me, it's usually always after Chamber or No Way Out or whatever that February pay-per-view is that you start to see ideas of possibly
or a year in advance.
Returning. Yeah, or a year in advance.
That went well.
Or where you possibly see the Undertaker type returning and possible setup with Bray Wyatt. But definitely the puzzle pieces will continue to start to be put together for WrestleMania, which is in a month and a half, March 29th. It's in March this year, so that's pretty interesting. It's usually been in April for the last 5 or 6 years. So yeah, some intriguing stuff to be going down here. Definitely towards the end of the show, and we'll be all over it. See what goes down here at Finger Fuck Fast French Fry fucking Lane. I thought that was funny.
Or Tiger Woods' golf career.
Why do you do that, man? Why do you do that?
Straight in the fast lane nowhere.
That, y'all.
Straight in the fast lane nowhere, guy.
I gotta do that, y'all. Hey, Bozo. I gotta do that.
Hey. Straight in the fast lane nowhere, Ace.
Living life in the fast lane.
That would have been a fucking perfect song.
I hear you, dude. They got fucking Limp Bizkit fucking, yeah, bring it on. I'm just a crazy motherfucker. Oh, shit. I can start thinking that.
Okay.
Yeah, so this will now wrap up our WWE Fastlane 2015 preview. Be sure to check out our review after the pay-per-view Sunday. Possibly not with Robert. He might start doing... I think that would be Daytona 500 review for Robert. He told me that he may not be in that. He might just sit there and just, when it's his turn to talk, he'll just talk about NASCAR. And I'm telling him, you won't be in the video then.
How do you know Robert?
He's on our videos. So be sure to check out our review after the pay-per-view Sunday. For my partner Quaddy, I am J-Man, and thank you for watching another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse, the Pulse, professional wrestling world.